I will make a motion that we transact this business through Google Hangouts from here on after.
We can. That's totally fine. I thought this was a new improved version, but maybe it's too new and improved. Okay, Pat was talking before. So currently on the call or the three that are in the actual room, April, Shar is here, and Suzanne is here. Sue Culver is on her way down. She's planning to join us in person. She was running late. Sally is still, there she is. So Sally just joined us.
And who are the participants?
Okay.
Other than board members or?
Julia is here and Shar is here. And then Mark Volz is on the call as a tech person to try to help with the connectivity. So, or how things work at the bottom. He'll be able to help us with that. So right now, I did log off Scott from being in person. So we have, Sue is already logged in. So when she shows up, she'll be able to just sit down and it should all be working over there. So is that 8?
Okay.
4 here. Julia, Pat,
Sally can start the meeting.
and Sally. So that's it.
It looks like there are 9 participants total.
Give me a second. Let me write them all down. So the 4 in this room, because I have Sue already up, is Scott still connected over here? I think I shut it off. So there's 4 in-house, plus Scott, Sally, Pat, Julia, and Mark. Okay, that is 9. So that's who's here.
I don't know if you can see, but there is a raise hand function on this, which is maybe the only thing that's a little updated from the Google Hangouts.
Share invite. Is it in chat? The raise hand function?
It would be in participants.
Participants. Oh, I see the 9. Okay, and there they are.
Yeah.
So
I see.
You can
I
also
think it should be
share your
unlocked. So
screen.
hopefully we can get in. Yay! There she is. Okay, all present and accounted for. You're going right there. Wiggle the mouse. It should be on, and all should be well. Yeah, we can see you walking up. You are currently muted.
I am currently muted, or?
No, you are not. Sue is currently muted. And do you need me to show you where the unmute button is? You see it's all the way to the left on the bottom of the, okay, you do. Okay, then I can take this off. Okay, I'm very willing to wear this if you want me to do. Okay, we're seriously like 12 feet away from each other, so we're going to unmask. Is it even connected? I hope so. Yes, you can use the pad. We hooked it up just in case. Okay, so we're going to call the meeting to order a little bit late. I'm not going to call the meeting to order. Sue is. There are a few more people. So Shar is here, Mark Volz is here, Julia's here, and the rest of the board, and me.
And Sue? Can Sue Culver hear me?
Can your speaker might be off because we were getting a little reverb. Can you hear Sally? I might. It came from over here because we were getting like squeals. So
I just want to apologize. I couldn't get you back off of hold. So, and then I hung up and tried to call you back and that didn't work either. So.
But we're ready now. I know. I can hear her. I may need some reinforcement. Now go ahead and talk. Can you hear Sally now? Ask her. Say, Sally.
Sally, can you hear me?
Okay.
Sally?
I hear you.
Okay, all right, good.
Turn it down a little bit.
Okay, you're calling the meeting to order at 6:22. Lord.
We had a little technical zip.
Okay. We have the public to talk to. Anyone?
Hello, I think that you just asked for public. Is that correct?
Hi, Julia. Go
Hi,
ahead.
Sue. It's a little hard to hear you just right now, just so that you're aware.
Okay.
I know that you all are trying to figure
I'm
out.
muted.
I
so-
know that you're trying. April,
might-
you're not muted. I know that you all are trying to figure out the new thing, just FYI. Hello, my name is Julia Heller. I am a member of the public, and I am just checking in as per last month's meeting. You all said that you had a draft of a statement on bias, and we're planning to finalize it before the next meeting, which is now. So, looking forward to hearing from Matt.
Yes, we needed to make sure that everyone had a time to read it carefully. And we have had that.
Thank you. That's it from me then.
Okay, go on. What's next?
Hello?
Hello,
Is anybody,
what's going on?
if
Yeah,
anybody has been talking from the community room, nobody outside of that can hear you right now at all.
yeah, that's kind of why I was wondering, because all of a sudden everything went very silent.
Scott, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Pat. I can hear Julia, and
I can hear Pat. I can hear
and
Scott.
I can hear Sally, and that's about it.
What happened with Sue? She called a meeting. Oh, gosh.
From my screen, I can see that April Shar and Mark are muted and Sue and Susanna are not, but I cannot hear anything coming from the community room.
No, I can't either.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I could create a Google Hangout.
Oh, there's April.
Ah, there.
Now we can hear April, but nothing from Sue or Susanna,
Okay.
except for through April's screen and now some reverb.
I'm going to try to chat, and hopefully people will get this.
Can you hear me?
I can see Shar, but I don't know if Shar can hear or anyone
I can
else.
hear you. I'm muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Come on, Sue.
Yeah, everybody in the community room just sort of went dark a couple of minutes ago.
Really?
It seems like April's computer is the only one that is actually picking up audio from inside the community room. So every time April is muted, then we don't hear anything.
Okay.
And when April is unmuted, we can hear whoever's talking, but it's not very loud because they're not sitting right next to that computer.
Okay. I just turned up the volume.
And we're still
Can
getting
anyone hear me?
feedback.
This
I
is
think
Shar talking.
that might have helped.
Can anybody hear Shar?
I can hear you, Shar, but it's unclear whether that's coming from your computer or through April's.
Because my computer, each person who's talking.
And there is still quite a bit of feedback.
If April mutes, or rather, if everybody mutes, we can try one at a time to see whose computers can be heard and whose cannot.
How come we didn't have this problem the first time we did this?
I know, I don't understand it.
All right, I am going to try to create a Google. You want me to try to create a Google Hangout?
Why can't we hear Sue and we can hear April?
I don't know,
I can hear feedback.
yeah, it's, I think we're gonna get rid of that because we're already.
I can go into the other room. Okay.
Actually, if we go hang out, we can't share. That's it.
Oh, so other people can't join. All right, forget that. I will mute.
Okay, this is Shar speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna send my laptop around and that's what everybody's gonna speak through. Yes. So we're gonna find. Do you mind? No, go ahead. Do what you need to do. Okay. Sorry for the reverb. We're fixing it. There we go. Okay. And then. So. Yes, we could have. Okay. And turn the volume up so everybody can hear. Okay. Can everybody hear us?
I believe so.
Julia, can you hear?
I can hear from my end if other people can confirm.
Yes, I can hear.
I can hear as well.
Is this loud enough for you, Susanna? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, where were we? Disposition of the minutes of the previous meeting. Does anybody have a correction or addition or subtraction? I do not. If not, can we have a motion to accept the minutes from the meeting last month in August?
I make a motion to accept the minutes for the August meeting.
Pat, vote. I'll second. I do not have a report, so we'll move on to the financial report. First thing was expenditure and revenue from July. All right, what's first?
Nothing not there. Okay. Is there any questions on the expenditures? There is, later there will be a resolution because computer services is slightly overspent, so there's a resolution to transfer funds.
Right.
But other than that, it's very slow going in July.
Okay. And we don't need to do anything about that? Or we do?
Yes, we need to approve the revenue.
Okay.
Resolution. There's a resolution first.
Oh, they're all separate. Are they all separate?
Oh, it's gotta make a motion.
Individual,
It's hard to understand you.
it's approved the expense, the financial is one,
Right.
resolution is two, and abstract is three.
And we just need one motion.
No, for each one.
Oh, we need separate. All right. All right. We need a motion to accept the expenditure and revenue report for July.
So moved.
Okay. I'll second. Abstract of claims dated August 12th to September 8th.
They're out of order on that. Yeah, we do the resolution as part of that.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, we'll do the resolution first. The resolution to transfer money, if everybody heard, Star.
$700 from equipment and furniture to computer services.
Right.
I move to accept the resolution. Pat?
Yeah.
Pat? Is there a
I
second?
will second.
Scott? And now we have the abstract of claims.
Now you hear the abstract is what?
Abstract of claims from August to September.
$78,927.79.
Okay, is that all correct? Then I move to accept the abstract of claims from August 12th to September 8th. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Pat?
Hey, Pat. Next, we have the director's report.
Director's report for September 8th.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me if I talk this loud?
Wow. Sure can.
Okay, I'll use my teacher voice. All right, we continue to have our mid-York directors meeting, our Google Hangout, which, you know, back to. So I'm going to kind of do the highlights rather than each individual thing. I attended a webinar for the planning of the National Voter Registration Day event. So we're, you know, just connecting people with that a little bit on Facebook and the website. I went to Lowe's and got a cabinet and countertop estimate for what we already approved for the construction grant. I worked on that to finish that. We have Mid-York calls. We exchanged with Rome, Utica, and New Hartford on Thursday mornings. Again, Google Hangout. CLRC Executive Committee meeting. That's my past president job duties are coming to an end in October. I'm excited about that. I met with Janae and Kim on Thursday, August 20th. We're talking about the hours that the library is open, things like that, which we'll talk about in a while. We talked to some book sale volunteers. There's not very many, so we're having them start to come into the library to clean books and things. Again, Mid-York Exchange for the larger libraries. Nominating committee with CLRC. I attended a couple of the CLRC Tuesday Zoom meetings. They're helpful. We were talking about, we unlocked the doors starting today. We have people coming in and
Sorry.
so I chatted with them and what practices are. More director meetings on Wednesdays. Book exchange again. Another board meeting with CLRC. We met multiple times this week about grab and go with no appointments. Rosemary said, you know, we can handle more people. We just can't handle more phone calls. We're maxing out our phone lines because they call for curbside, they call to place holds, they call to make appointments, and literally all of our phone lines can be busy at the same time. So we're hoping that we've made some steps to make that happen. And met with her Moser. We're working on the children's story time area, the amphitheater, and that's going to be carpeted kind of soon. He's done the repairs to the floor or the concrete, and Avenue Security is going to do some work that details to follow. And then I met with we finished up some of the salary schedule starting in October. So that's the majority. We spend a lot of time helping people do things they used to do for themselves. So as much as we're apprehensive about opening, we're hoping that at one point there'll be this tipping point where people start to take care of themselves again. So, but we're okay. I mean, it's not perfect, but people are getting books and people are safe. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Good.
Are you trying to get rid of the by appointment?
A little bit. We're doing a by appointment with computers because but we can also take a walk-in. We have one over here with a coffee machine. We think people can sit down and use that. If we have students come in and they're part of walk-in, we have more accommodations for computers. We put a reserve sign on some of them because say we have 3 people that have appointments for the computers and the fourth computer's not being used. Well, we could take a walk-in for that, but we didn't want somebody to just walk in and sit down. Have to say, no, you have to get out. Somebody so it's just working through the little details. Right now it's on the phone, you have a mask. If somebody comes in without one, well, if you don't know.
Oh, April.
April, exactly. I mean, we have not. We're very fortunate. We have not give us a hard time about that.
Do we?
April, I have a question.
Well, then there you go. It's not a problem. Yep. Okay, here you go. We'll provide it.
April, I have a question for April. April?
Yes. I'm listening.
If I were to come to the library, could I just walk in?
You can now through the main entrance, the old main entrance.
So how many people are allowed in?
Complicated. We used to allow 4 in it per hour. And so
How
right
many?
now, we used to allow 4.
Oh.
Now we're doing 8 groups we'll go with. And so it's kind of like 8 to 12. Say 6 people come in themselves. And we have a couple that comes in, and then maybe we have a family unit that comes in. So they're in the individual room, right? And so then they hang out together, and then they leave, and the next group can come in. So right now, we're still trying to encourage people to come at the top of the hour if they call on the phone. If they just show up random, then they just come in. And we could, if we feel that we're at capacity, we could say, can you wait in your car and we'll get back to you. But we haven't, we've only been open like this for 1 day. So we haven't had a problem yet. We may have more as people find out. Right now it's kind of like a soft opening. It's a retail term. We haven't advertised it yet because we haven't really figured out all the details about how we're going to monitor how many people are here. 50% of capacity is what we can do, but we think that that's way too many. It wouldn't really be safe to have 50% capacity.
Well, if we subtract the community room, what's the capacity must be different.
Well, it's tricky. It is kind of a square footage thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in theory, we could have 100 people in here because the library's huge.
Yeah.
But that would be way too many.
Well, we don't often have 100 people
We
at
don't.
once,
I don't
unless
think
there's
we're
a
getting
program.
yes. So it's usually when we have like an entertainer or something.
Right.
Which is your basic grab and go get things. I think we're going to be open.
Good. Okay. Any other questions about the opening? No. Okay. Old business, the social media policy update. We have a draft that everyone has read, correct? Anyone not read it?
Yeah, I guess the only additional point that I would make about the social media policy is, again, the review policy as listed here would not really have addressed the issue that we had with Miss Sharon, because if anyone with the title of a librarian reviews, then that there's not another layer of review that we can have to forestall that particular situation.
So what do you think we should put in there?
I believe there is at least then a possibility if you say, I know it's not like particularly, I know it's not as efficient or as swift, which is often very important for social media, but if you said have at least 2 people proofread the press release, and that the reviewer must have the title of librarian, so at least there's
Right. So
more than one person that has to vet whatever is going out.
Person proofread.
Yes.
Want someone else to wrote it. I guess
So if we added that, the last couple lines say, this post contains the original copy. The procedure is to have at least one
additional person.
So we need
That would
to
be
say,
changed to have at least 2 people proofread the press release.
Right.
or why can't we just say 2 librarians? Because the last
That would be, yeah, that would be to have at least 2 librarians proofread the press release. That is concise and to the point and gets at exactly what I intended.
Yeah, good idea.
Thank you.
It will read, the procedure will be at least to have at least 2 librarians proofread the press.
Right.
Rid of the press.
Right.
That wasn't very hard.
So that should work.
It just didn't.
Good. Now, we need a motion to
Wait a minute, Sue,
what?
I have
Yeah.
there's something I'd like to take out. The word recommend, where it says usage rules. You see where it says usage, I can't say it, usage rules. It's the 3rd paragraph, last sentence. The library recommends.
I see it.
It says the library recommends that users do not post their personal information. I don't think it should have recommend in there. I don't think we should not allow it.
No, you're right.
I think we should take the word recommend out.
Right, I agree. The last sentence in the 3rd paragraph under usage rules recommends that you do not post.
I just say that the library does not, or what does not allow, or so whatever. Take the word recommends out. Does not. The library.
I see exactly what you're getting at, Pat, but I am not completely sure how this would be enforceable by the library.
Right.
If you're talking about, I mean, for staff, you can mandate that for staff, but you're talking about users would be any patron who is at DPL who's using a computer and going on social media. If that's what this is referring to, then recommends has to stay in there because there's really no functional way. If a patron is on Facebook using a library computer
Yeah.
and they're on their own Facebook account, they can post any personal information or contact information that they want.
But that's not the library, is it? It says the library.
Recommends that users do, maybe we should say, I mean, it does. It sounds like you're addressing, I don't know who. So,
I mean, it
yeah.
seems like users, basically any participant in a library, you're right, you're not responsible for or liable for any content posted by any participant in a library social media forum who is not a member of the library staff. And I guess that if you're not a member of the library staff, those are the users that are being referred to. And for that reason, they should have no expectation of privacy. Anybody can read it. And yeah, I think it makes sense to say that if you're referring to anyone who is not staff, who is either on a library social media forum or using social media on one of the library's computers, we can simply recommend that they not post personal information or contact information because it just isn't a good idea, but that we can't be responsible for it if they do.
Right.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I don't think the library should be responsible.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, the paragraph that's above that takes care of the library's responsibility and liability.
Okay.
I mean, we're already saying that we're not,
Yeah.
any
right.
content would include personal information or contact information.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with the way those paragraphs in the usage rules are set up.
Okay. So in other words, if somebody puts something out there that is not, not good, what happens?
Contents posted by participants, clearly the library is not responsible for that content, but because we moderate and host the content, of course, any content that we find objectionable can be immediately taken down, and the library is certainly entitled to and certainly ought to respond to any objectionable content that participants who are not staff members might post. So the social media policy not only includes a responsibility to review postings by staff going out to the public, there is also a responsibility for whoever's moderating or whoever's in charge of handling the social media to vet and monitor any postings by non-library staff as well.
Thank you.
I don't know. Okay.
I mean, because once you get to the bullet points, that is the description of the specific kind of content that Dunham reserves the right to remove immediately.
How would you, if I went
by
into,
staff or anyone?
If I went into user, Oh, excuse me. If I went in to use the computer and I put something on there that was questionable or, you know, that's not right, who's to say if I'm the user?
Are you putting it on the library website?
We have these bullet points to say.
Is this going on the, is that what it means, going on the library website?
The library website, what you do in your personal life is irrelevant.
Right, but we won't, you can't have obscene content or hate speech or discriminatory comments, and including in all of the things that we have here, all these bullet points are going to guide us to say, oh no, that's gotta come down.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. And
Yep.
does every-
And if somebody violates that part, if they violate that policy, whether staff or patrons or other users, you can ban or block them.
right, that's in here. And also, is everybody aware that that last paragraph about staff usage of social media?
Yes.
That's a separate descriptor than the usage rules in the beginning. It sounded like somebody wasn't sure if in the beginning whether you're talking about staff or patrons. This specifically addresses staff and employee behavior.
Yes, this last paragraph actually, well, no, this last paragraph actually should be copied and put as well under the staff usage of social media. That the basic point is that if a patron has a complaint about Dunham, they should address that complaint directly to library staff or to April, so that it can be expressed. So, you know, basically, this is the anti-Yelp paragraph. We don't want patrons yelping DPL, especially not on our own social media presence.
How much comment do we get on this, on the website, on the?
Anything in particular, or?
No, I mean, is there 100 for when you put something up, and 5 or what? I mean, you get a lot of comments from people?
It depends on what we put up there. Sometimes we get 1 comment, 100 comments, sometimes 50.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, I had no idea because I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
I see some people's phones, so they can they see it, and so they've chosen us.
Yeah.
And so, you know, say you had children that came to our programming, then it pops up. Because, okay, the next round of take-home crafts are available.
Right. Yeah.
And some people say, oh, thanks.
Yeah,
and,
right. And so it's
like,
that kind of comment in general. Just commenting one way or another, or saying, I mean, do people bother to say, no, I don't like that, and I don't want to come? I mean, it doesn't seem likely to me, but I don't know.
Not
No.
often.
So basically, it's not a big problem of what people comment. Occasionally it is, but most of the time it isn't.
Correct.
Right?
Mm.
Okay. So are we clear on what we are going to include in here and how it's going to be slightly changed from what we originally had? Just that very last paragraph about 2 librarians.
Right.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And I am, and actually, I was going to say that last paragraph should be copied and user be replaced with staff, but I just realized that the last sentence of the first paragraph on staff usage of social media, employee behavior online as offline is subject to the disciplinary guideline.
Right, so everything is covered. Does everybody feel that everything is covered in here?
Yes.
I do.
Good, I do. Scott, are you satisfied?
Yeah,
with everything?
I'm content with that.
Sally?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We need a motion to accept the library social media policy. With that
So moved.
condition. Scott has moved to accept it. Do we have a second?
I'll second Pat.
Pat, okay, thanks, Pat. Okay,
We have, there are, we have policies.
yes,
Oh my gosh, what's happening? Uh-oh.
so we're on to new business.
What's
First
the
item
noise?
on new business is the staff salary schedule for 2020 and 2020.
We can't hear, there's some noise.
yeah, there's like music almost.
No, it sounds like a washing machine.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. Give me a moment. I'm going to mute here.
This is pretty close to what it was.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'll just go. The librarian one position is vacant.
Okay, sorry, I was kind of out of the loop there for a moment, and I apologize for that, but I realized that we moved on to the staff salary portion, which I believe is new business.
Yes,
Correct.
April was just
And
the changes, if any.
Right. You saw this, the board saw this earlier when we did the budget. But the only thing is we left the librarian one vacant. Now we're going to see how it goes with the current staff working on that. But we do have a library position that is in there. It is moved into here too.
oh, here it is.
So that's changed. Also added a part-time building maintenance worker that we will work. We're going to be interviewing again for that because Mark Supa is becoming more part-time as he retired. And we did have some other people in here that retired. Sharon Troller retired, Alan Roxon, Mark Supa did retire, but he's still here a little bit. And some other people reduced hours, and Sue Hatch is in here, and she wasn't in here. So it's basically updated from the one from before with the different people here. So. I don't know if we really voted on this before. We voted on the line. We voted on the salary line.
Yes.
So that was approved, and we explained why the salary line was what it was. And then we always vote on this in September, right? Because October 1st is our fiscal year. So,
right.
Yes, it's still the same bottom line.
So we need a motion to accept the staff salary schedule for the new year beginning in September and October. I'll accept the salary schedule. Do we have a second?
So I will second that.
Susanna did.
Too late.
It's hard to hear everybody. Okay, the next thing is other policy revision.
Where am I left?
They were pretty basic.
Okay. Yeah, we all have, two different policies. So there's some related to what we're saying. I can go right in order here, actually.
Right.
Number 15, the health, now says vision and dental insurance. There were just a few additions, we didn't specify vision. The word benefit seems to be needed there. It refers the library retirees to their specific policy. And then just some better sounding words that explain a little bit better on the 15.2. Do you want to go through all of them?
Yeah, might as well. I wonder if they could just, do we have to do each one separately?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't either, so then we could just say as attached.
Okay. Yep. Right. So number 17 is the health retirement policy. There was just one very small and or addition in 17.3 is completely new policy, which basically says that when someone retires from the library, they have the option of picking up, keeping their health insurance. However, once they decline to take their health insurance, they can't come back like a year later and say they want it back.
Right.
So that just kind of covers the library in that regard and outlines that that is not acceptable.
Was that the policy before and worded differently, or?
There was absolutely nothing.
There was nothing in there about it, okay.
I think these are policy manual updates, and then this would be.
This is part of the library. It's library.
So these two could go together.
Yeah. So the two are for staff.
The health, yeah,
Are in the personnel manual.
right.
There is a third proposal. We have something in our personnel manual called sick bank. It's been there for years, and not one person has ever used it. And
You don't have a paper.
no, there's no paper for that one because there's we can print one out if you want to table that one.
Maybe we're just introducing it this time.
Yes. So what it is if somebody at the end of the fiscal year has time left over and they would like to donate it to a bank, they can do so. And then if somebody runs out of time and they are a member of the bank, they can take them if they need. But nobody has ever.
And how are you a member of the sick bank? Do you have to say so, or?
You
Donate a day.
You have to donate it
Oh,
one
right,
day every
okay.
year.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're never returned to you, and you even have days in there for past employees. I think there's maybe 4 current employees in it.
I'm in it, but I don't know why. Why? It seems really goofy.
Well, if you have some kind of injury that, that precludes you coming to work for 3 weeks or 6 weeks or something.
Right, then there's sick time, but
Yeah.
then there's workman's comp. I mean, we can leave it there. It's just.
So how do you handle it if somebody, let's say a librarian donates a day, and then the assistant clerk does, these are not equal days, how?
I don't know. It's not my problem.
Yeah,
I don't
I
get
know.
a day every year, but
We had that policy where I worked at BOCES,
Yeah.
but I don't remember any discrimination about whose sick time it was.
I don't think it matters.
It was just a donate, and then you could use, and there, because of the nature of some of the jobs, I mean, our one woman, I remember, had a serious break-in thigh bone. She couldn't work with little children that needed help with disabilities and that, she couldn't, she was out of work for like 2 months.
They work with us. We have those options.
This was before that. And anyway, working with children with disabilities, that isn't really, it's an option for something, but not.
So what are you looking for? What are you looking for?
I don't think it's hard to use it. Most people have and that's what they rely on.
So it's
And
never.
people who are in it for donated time, they have a ton of 21 cells, and they're doing it in the next city, but nobody ever
Yeah,
uses it.
so it's not really been used. So you want to take it out. How long has it been there? Forever?
Judy implemented it, I think shortly after she started, so at least 2010.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little hard for me to follow this conversation because I can't really hear anybody very well.
Me too. I can't either, Sally.
We're talking about the sick bank. Remember, I'm sure that you two as teachers remember that at school. Donating a day of sick time and then having it available
Oh,
to
a
use.
sick
if-
bank. Yep.
Yeah.
What Shar is saying is that it's never been used, been there for years. It doesn't seem a relevant policy, and she wonders whether it would be better to just take it out of the policy manual, since it's not
Why?
been used. No one's ever complained that we don't use it. Well, Judy put it in, and whether it was
But that's the kind of thing that could very quickly be needed,
Right.
like very quickly.
I don't see any harm in keeping it in. I just, if you don't use it, you don't use it, but at least it's there.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a liability if it's not being used. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my question, is there any perceived liability to having a policy that has so far not been used?
The auditors have never questioned us and said, this is a problem. I know if you have, say, we were talking about the number of sick days. For example, I know that I think New York State will compensate for 180. And it seems not fair that we don't allow people to accumulate more than 120. Well, but then if you look at it from an employer perspective, oh, what if you take 120, 180 sick days in a row? That's a difficult thing, right, for us. And I think that's before I got here, somebody said 120 sick days, right?
Yeah.
And that should be all you carry. And then after, if you don't use them, you lose them, kind of thing. And that's where people that had a lot of sick days donated them to the sick, because otherwise they would lose them. So there's a lot of potential maybe for an employee to have a lot of days off and get paid. I mean, and rightly so, they may truly get hurt. I'm not saying that they'd be taking advantage of
But
it.
so far, that's never happened.
That has not happened in the last 10 years. So, okay, we're making you aware of it. You know, we'll just leave
How
it.
many sick days do you have?
How many do I
How
have?
many,
How many sick-
how many does
how many
anyone?
staff have? Yeah.
There's 40, I believe.
So, oh,
Pat, were you asking how many the employees generally have, or how much is in the bank?
No, how many do they generally have?
How many sick days are in the contract? What do you get?
We
like in
have,
a year?
we have 12 days a year, so 1 day for every month,
Right,
and if you have 20 days.
okay. Did you hear that, Pat?
Yes. So in other words, if you were to donate one of those days, and you haven't used it at all, right?
Right,
What happens to those days that you donated?
yeah, that,
They just go poof. So I've been here 7 years or 7 of my.
yeah, it just disappeared. What happened when we were working? I have no idea. I
Do
never
they
used it.
accumulate? Do they accumulate?
Yeah,
So in other words, you could have hundreds of days there if no one uses it right now. I mean, is there a bank or something where they keep those, or I don't know.
Shar said we only have around 40 at this time. Oh, 68, sorry. I don't know if it's a problem or not. I don't really know.
Just sit there. I don't think it's hurting anybody. Shark could probably tell us how many hours a year it takes her to figure that out each time, because there's a form people have to
Right,
fill out, because you can't just take somebody's sick day,
right.
without proof. So that happens, so it takes her probably half a day, a year to.
Well, it's not that many people really that have sick days, right? I mean, you have part-timers, they don't have sick days, right?
It's only open to full-time staff.
Yeah, so it's only right, Pat, it's only full-time.
So that's not that many people.
No, it's not.
So in other words, if one of them got ill or something happened and they had to take 2 or 3 months off or whatever, would they have enough time to do it?
Most people probably would.
Well, with that and vacation and personal.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
All right.
All right, I think we're gonna table that. 'Cause
Okay.
there's no urgency.
All right.
So we're just gonna table that. So now we need to deal with, wait, we have one more, right, Shar?
Yeah,
The check signing policy,
That one is a library policy.
right,
Just to update again, using like words like board treasurer.
Right.
You don't have, saying that 3 are required to sign a card, you know, before. Who to turn it into the account clerk will print text. And then it just removes federate grant, we don't write text to them anymore.
right,
New York Library, we write enough text to them that are over 1,000, which is what we need for health insurance.
right,
Because that could also include, our computer services, which was just up in July. It adds Whitesboro Central School, so when we write any, our New York employees' retirement to them, we don't have to wait, we can just send that right over.
right,
That works, we don't use anymore. And our credit cards have been used from First Niagara to keep it. And we added central property maintenance. This is the gentleman who does our snowfall
right.
contract with the second parking lot, it's always over $1,000.
With the
salt,
because
yeah.
salt's a lot. So,
Well, that makes sense. I obviously gotta take out things that we're not using.
How do you feel that keeping credit cards?
rather than First Niagara, it should say.
Change the name. First Niagara was bought out by them. So it's just changed.
Why doesn't that require multiple signatures? I don't get it.
I don't,
It's what, it says because they're monthly or
Oh.
regular recurring
Yeah.
expenses.
right, so this comes up every month and it's due by a certain date. And if you don't get it done, then you end up with a finance charge and possibly.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ingram. We buy a lot. It seems like why is credit card because that's how we purchase a lot of things. So DVDs and so it's
Right.
it's Amazon basically. Those are a lot of Amazon purchases. So it is a credit card, but it's mostly Amazon. There are other things. It's
Well, yeah, and it is open to misuse.
Yeah, yes, and we do have a credit card use policy separate from that. So if anybody who uses a credit card needs to sign that, and that they understand that it's not for personal, and they have to prove everything. So we do have a credit card use policy.
Because you have receipts, don't you? If people charge something, don't you have the
It's
receipt?
right there, but we all did we before have First Niagara.
Yes,
Was that something
it's just a new thing.
because some are monthly or regularly?
Sure.
Vendors require.
In the morning.
But we always sign that one. That's odd. I always thought we had that.
No, and you know what, I remember this conversation before about the fact that we have to wait for the next one meeting to send it.
Right.
Late and then.
The 17th is our due date. They set it for it, so it would fall after the board meeting. But we run into, especially this third time where we had to just pay it and then,
Yeah,
you know, so we don't end up with a late fee.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. So can we approve these all together?
Well, do you want to do one under personnel manual and one under, or do you want it to say policies? And they could just be attached. As is.
Policies as attached, I think would be okay.
Yeah.
The auditors would be all right with that as long as they.
As long as they're right there and they can read
All
them.
right.
Do we have anyone to move to accept the 3 policy changes, check signing, and 2 changes to the health and retirement policy?
So moved.
Okay. Scott, do we have a second?
I'll second, although I didn't hear it very well. I couldn't hear it very well.
Did you hear what the third one was, the check signing policy?
Yeah, it's very difficult to hear.
We took out some language that isn't relevant,
Yeah,
like
right,
board
right. I think it's,
and the,
it's harder to hear you people at the library than it is for us at home.
that's weird. But don't ask me.
I can second that.
All right, Pat, did you want Susanna to
Yes.
second it? Dad?
I'll second it. Anyone
Okay.
can.
Okay, excellent. Now we have, the next action item is the Christmas and New Year Saturdays, because Christmas and New Year fall on Friday, is that correct?
Correct.
So
Yes.
you would like to,
Sorry, can we talked about it because, well, we will be off the Thursday and the Friday. And to come in for it. Okay, that's another thing. Let me back up a little bit. We're proposing, currently we're not open on Saturdays, but we believe in anticipation of school opening.
Yeah.
Maybe children will be coming in with parents for school projects or whatever. We want to accommodate. We want to accommodate families whose schedule might be different, and to work. We're looking to open on Saturdays in October. So when we do that, we will be here a half a day. It's usually slow on Saturdays, unless there's some significant programming. So right now, we are open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. We are proposing it starting in October, that will be open 9 to 6. And Saturday 10 to 2 to the public. But what we'd like to do is, because it's the way it falls, if people are going away and those kinds of work.
so you
We
want,
don't anticipate a lot of people being here on Saturday, and we would like to close those
Right.
days.
and haven't we done that before?
We do
Closed
occasionally
when a holiday falls in
Yeah.
such a way that it's, the Saturday
Right.
is just,
Right, because it does end up leaving other staff short because they need to have time off during the rest of the week in order to work that.
right.
Do you have to make a motion? You have to make a motion?
all day.
Wait, April's still talking,
Right.
Pat.
I was trying to figure it all out. It's not an additional day off, it's just, we won't be open on that Saturday.
Right, the schedule change.
Right.
I mean, a schedule of the library
So
being
the
open.
staff don't have another
Yeah.
staff, they will have to work, they won't get whoever was scheduled on Saturday, it's not.
So we have
You're
to
not
make a, yeah.
additional help, but we are closing those 2
Yes,
Saturdays.
The library would be closed those 2 Saturdays. Can anybody move to accept that change?
We have to make a motion. I make a motion that the library be closed those 2 Saturdays.
Thank you, Pat. I'll second.
Nope. Okay.
Now, the library hours to patrons revision you have next, and that's what you just talked about,
I
right?
did, and I don't know if it needs to be voted on, but maybe it should be. When we did their COVID reopening, we just we were reduced hours, and I, in all honesty, kind of pulled those out of a hat with other people that were directors, and we tried to figure out, well, okay, we want to open, and we want to make sure we have enough staff to cover all of the extra stuff we have to do. It's working okay. But
That's fine.
we have had, our normal hours haven't happened since March. And I've been toying with the idea of opening earlier. People are waiting in line to get in the door at 9:30. We have a lot of people that would like to come in a little earlier. So when we're past when everything is normal, whatever that means, and we have a lot of programming and we're open our full hours, what I'd like it to be is 9 to 8 Monday through Thursday. Friday it's like 9 to 5, I think, and then Saturday to the public is going to stay that 10 to 2. So we are open in evening because I think for programming that's big. Yeah, a lot of times it's difficult Thursday. A lot of people are like, oh, but we close early on Thursday. So we're taking the 3 hours from the Saturday and we're sticking it on the end of Thursday. It seems to be
but we're not gonna change this now.
No, but that's why I just pulling in 5 more hours a week in the mornings.
Right.
And putting another 4 on Saturday. So it's another 9 hours we're proposing to be open. Still not full, but we're proposing to open that many more hours for the public starting in October. So I just want you to know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it has to be voted on.
I don't think
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
No, you don't. You don't have to vote on it.
Right,
Well,
Pat
and
said no voting.
And we're hoping, we'll be open forward. We're not on the phone as much. Hopefully it'll be a less demand.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes. Like if we're overwhelmed, if
Right.
the infection rate gets higher,
Then you just have to change, that's
right,
all.
but this is the plan. This is the
Okay.
plan, because that'll happen before the next board meeting.
Right. So I think we've resolved the list of new business. We're down to announcements. Is there any announcements?
Actually, I'm not sure that we did.
Sorry.
I think that technically this was old business because it was sent out prior to the previous meeting. The draft of the board statement on bias, but we can certainly treat it as new business and then go over it from there. Again, this is something that was emailed out to the board prior to the last meeting, but because it was only a few days prior to the last meeting, I think that there was interest in giving some time to digest it. So any comment that anyone would like to make on the draft of that statement, I guess now would be the time for that.
Right, I'm trying to see if I have a paper copy of it. I might, let's see.
I do have a copy in front of me, and I would be willing to read it, but given the sound quality, I don't know
Could you read it?
how people feel about that.
How long is it?
It's a page.
Yeah, it's about, it's almost a page.
I did read it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't remember, I printed it a while ago. I don't remember, I didn't make any question marks about changes on it.
I read it and was fine when I read it.
Yeah, because it quoted the ALA Code of Ethics.
Yes.
Yep.
And then it goes on, yep. Sally, have you seen it?
Yeah, not in a while, I think, and I also don't really remember anything standing out on it.
Okay, so there was nothing that obviously needed to be changed or corrected. I didn't make any corrections on this,
No.
and
So we
sometimes
can-
I make a note to myself, and I didn't.
So we can
Okay,
accept it?
Kathy and Pat, Susanna, what do you think?
I remember it. I didn't remember.
Right, I don't either. So can we move to accept,
Yes.
what is it, what are we calling it, Scott? What's the name? I forgot.
Well, it's basically a board statement on bias.
Right. Thank you.
I move to accept that statement.
Accept the board
Accept-
statement on bias.
Yes. Statement of
I'll
bias.
second it. Pat,
They were going up policy manual.
Well, the board statement on bias actually would not go on the policy manual. It would be posted on the Dunham website because it is a statement in response to a specific event.
Okay.
exactly. And certainly it's available on paper if someone wants to read it. So announcements, we did not have any announcements.
Did you need a second for that?
I did, Pat.
Okay, all right.
We did. We had a memorial donation of $100 for, I don't know if you call him Professor Schaefer. He was from MBCC.
Oh, Jim, he's my neighbor.
So his sister, who was,
I can't hear her.
it was really a nice conversation, and he apparently was having.
Yes, he was. Oh my God, he had incredible stuff.
So she donated money in hopes to maybe a intro to stamp collecting or
Yeah.
something. Dennis is on it. He's going to
That's
select
really
who he was.
nice. He was a lovely person, and he was
I
very,
remember him.
very ill over the summer and kept having another thing happen, and it really was awful. And
Sue, who are you talking about? I couldn't hear.
we're talking about a donation of $100 from a Whitesboro patron, Jim Schaefer. He was a professor at MVCC
Oh,
and a member of the Stamp Club here.
oh, okay.
So a member of his family donated money that we might maybe provide some sort of program about introducing people to stamp collecting.
Oh, good.
Program, but
Yeah.
she
Or
donated
have,
money to
or have
participate.
books that
Yes.
people could look
Good
at.
idea.
Yeah. And I was commenting that he was my neighbor and I knew him quite well and his wife,
What was
Yeah,
his last? Who was that? What's his last name?
Schaefer,
Schaefer. I think I know. What's his first name?
Jim.
Jim Schaefer.
He was a chemistry professor at MB. He was about 77 or so, so he's been retired for a while.
Yeah. Could I ask April, what's happening with the Mid-York fall meeting that we always have?
Didn't they, the annual meeting?
We
you
had that
Yeah.
already.
Didn't, we already
Oh,
had
that's
an
right.
annual,
That's right. They had. That's right. Okay.
Full meeting. and
yeah,
last
online.
You're right. I remember now.
Okay, okay. That's it for announcements and communications. Any more comments from the public?
This is Julia. Can everyone hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to reading the statement on bias once that gets posted to the Dunham website. That's going to be really good to have out there. And just, you already know this, but feedback for this particular hybrid meeting. I think that probably, I know you are all trying very hard to make this work with the new software that you have, and this is just feedback from me personally, but I don't think that you've quite nailed it yet. And I hope that hope that that turns into something different in the future that becomes more useful for all of you. And I do appreciate that you are finding ways to make it available to board members and public who are not able to attend in person.
I think we did it better earlier. I mean, we seem to be getting worse, not better.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you, Sally. A lot of things I couldn't understand.
It's difficult all being in the same room. We had to shut our speakers off. Otherwise, we had, kind of like being at a concert and the microphones are too close to each other and you get that,
Yeah.
it was that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, at least one of the useful things about Google Hangouts is that you have closed captioning. So if you're getting too much feedback and you can't hear, you can at least activate the closed captioning and it will type out some approximation of what people are saying. It's better than this.
Yes. Okay. Executive session, I don't think so. And I will move that we adjourn at 7:33.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Is Shar still there?
Yes.
Shar, yeah, Shar?
Yes, she's here.
Oh, I want to ask her something.
Yes, Pat.
Yep.
Oh, Shar, are you working?
Yes.
Are you working every day at the library?
Yeah.
Because I have a big bundle of clothes for your hockey stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can just when I bring it down, you can come out the car to get it, maybe.
Okay. That's
You're-
fine.
you're there.
I can-
I'll have to call you when I get there. I don't know what day. I don't know what day it'll be. I have a lot going on. I can't walk very well, and just pray. I'm going to Syracuse on Friday for my cancer thing, so we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed, Pat. Fingers crossed.
Well, we'll keep a good thought.
Thank you.
Okay, good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, good night.